Hey guys, on the chat, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, on the chat, can you hear me? Great, thanks. All right, we'll wait just a few minutes and let any stragglers straggle in a little later. All right, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the very first audio theme webinar. This is something we're actually looking to do more of if there's some interest in there. So the feedback and ideas you guys give us tonight are really going to go a long way. So I encourage you guys to be super active and just kind of help us out and let us know what you think. My name's Anna. I'll be leading things tonight. Brady and Brody, I see both of them on the chat line. There are development gurus, design gurus, and they'll be happy to answer any sort of questions you have on the fly. And if we can't get you an answer right away, we will definitely be sure to follow up with you. So tonight we're going to talk about streaming music on your website, why you should do it, how you can do it, and how you can protect yourself from having your music ripped off. So let's get started. One of the questions we get all the time is, why do you guys think it's so important that I stream music on my website? Why can't I just use like a Reverb Nation or a SoundCloud profile? And the first thing I want to clear up is that we're definitely not anti-Reverb Nation or anti-SoundCloud. When I was first getting started in music, it was MySpace, Pure Volume was around, and we really want to encourage you to have your profiles there. It's great for your searchability, and it's just one more potential route and way for someone to come in contact with you and your music. But we think that your website should really be home base for you and where your fans are going to find you the easiest. And having music on your website is kind of one of the main reasons that someone will go there. And it should be easy to find, and it should work no matter what device they're trying to access it from. Can you guys just kind of let me know if my voice and my kind of description of everything is matching with the slides, the timing's all right? What I got here are some screenshots. This is obviously Reverb Nation. Sister Hazel's my favorite band, if that means anything to you. What we've got highlighted in the red box is what I like to call possible jumping off points, or basically just distractions or calls to action that aren't necessarily someone listening to your music. And you can see that some of them actually take you away from your page there. This is SoundCloud, Pat McGee's SoundCloud profile. We actually had a chance to do some work with him over the past few months. And you'll see his stuff in a few slides later on. You can see what they've got going on over in the sidebar here. They've got their ads, and then they've got their links to the App Store, which is actually going to take you to the SoundCloud general app and not anything having to do with Pat's music here. They're encouraging page hopping and clicking around because it works out better for them. And again, we totally think you should have a presence here and on any social music site, but it's really just another touch point that's going to drive people to your site, and we want to get them there as quickly as we can. All right, moving on. If you're sold on it, you know that you need to stream on your website. We're going to go ahead and kind of walk you through a few of the different options you have. Those are embeds from the social sites like your Reverb Nation and your SoundCloud, plugins for WordPress sites, and the AudioTheme framework, which is, again, just for WordPress sites. And the reason there's so much WordPress on here is because we're huge proponents and advocates of it. But if you don't have a WordPress site, we're still going to cover some options for you, so don't worry. All right, up first we have your social media embeds. These are a couple of screenshots over here on the right side of your screen. The top one there is Reverb's, and the bottom one is SoundCloud's. The text box on the left is a typical example of what an iframe is. So basically what that does is embed one website or part of a website inside of another. This code here is for Reverb. You can see they've got some basic options going on there for color, border, width, height, things like that. Shortcode is basically the same thing. Some content management systems will just use their own kind of shorthand code, essentially, to make things easier for you. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of research and trial to kind of figure out what method is going to work the best for your site. All right, if you're familiar with WordPress, you probably already know what plugins are. If you don't, they're essentially add-ons that people have created to add features to sites that aren't typically a part of WordPress. So WordPress has no native playlist managing audio player, currently at least. They do have individual audio players. So plugins are going to give you the capability to add that feature to your site, even though it's something WordPress doesn't offer right out of the box. You want to be absolutely sure that the player is mobile friendly. Most of these will be HTML5 code, maybe with a Flash fallback, but all that really matters, what you're looking for in the description are the words mobile friendly or responsive. That's how you'll know the player functions across multiple devices. What we have here is a screenshot of one of the most popular, relatively inexpensive plugins for a playlist player. You can actually find several free ones in the plugin directory. We'll be sure to share these links at the end of the webinar, so don't feel like you have to go scramble in to write this all down right now. So this is the responsive HTML5 Audio Player Pro with playlist from Envato. It's $11. You can find that on their website, but like I said, we'll share the links. It's one of the more popular, relatively inexpensive plugins. So this screenshot that you're seeing now is actually our free plugin. It's called Q, and you can find it at audiotheme.com or inside of the WordPress plugin directory itself. You can see that you can do some cool things like add in your album art and some other customization. And again, we'll shoot you the links, so don't worry. Some things you want to think about as you're kind of coming to a decision in terms of what route you want to go with streaming music on your website. You probably don't want several players running down your page. If you've ever been to a website like that, it's kind of cluttered and just uninviting. So if you're going to go the embed route, Reverb has a pretty nice playlist player you can embed, and SoundCloud does too. One of the cool things about SoundCloud that's worth mentioning is that they can actually track the analytics in terms of how many times the song's been played. So that's kind of cool. We can tell you that autoplay is a definite no-no. You want to be considerate and think about the people who are in a public space. Maybe they're at work and they don't have their earbuds, and they don't need to get blasted right out of the gate there. Another thing to think about is, do you want your music to stay on one specific page of your website, or do you want someone to be able to click around as they're listening? Any of these products that we've discussed up to this point, which you're going to embed within a single page of a website, the music is going to stop as soon as someone navigates away from that page that they're living on. And if they hit the back button within the browser, odds are pretty fair that they're actually going to lose their space in terms of where the music is. This is our one of our premium plugins. It's called QBar, and you can also find it on our site. And what's special about QBar is that it's what's called a site-wide player. And that means that it anchors to the bottom of your site so that people can click around and still listen to music. So maybe they're going to go check out your gigs or your photos or something along those lines without losing their space. And you can see it here at the bottom of this screenshot. Site-wide players like QBar work really well in conjunction with the playlist. What I mean by that is that your music page or your albums page might feature several different songs, or maybe you want to put your whole album on it. What you would do with your site-wide player in most cases is just add kind of like your best stuff so that someone hears that immediately upon landing on the page. It's meant to kind of just get them interested in your music and get them clicking around the site, which is why having the continuous playback is such a really cool feature. All right. The last route we're going to talk about is the AudioTheme framework itself. And if you've ever seen any of our WordPress themes, they all run on the AudioTheme framework, which is meant to make managing all of the musical aspects of your website really simple. Here are some cool things about the framework and specifically the discography feature of it. Yeah. No limits to songs. You can add all your purchase links. You can add descriptions, maybe if you wanted to talk about what the inspiration behind the song was. And everything streams directly from a URL, which is kind of cool because it allows you to upload and link to a song that's anywhere on the web. This is Pat McGee's site again, and what you're looking at is the discography section on, this is the Null theme. He's calling it albums. Whoops. And you can see he's been in the music world for a few years. You probably don't have 20 albums. I definitely don't. What you would do is you would click on each of these albums, and he's actually got a track list for each of them. And I think his site's only got 30-second spots for each song. The screenshot on the left is kind of a content drill down all the way to a song. So this is the first track on his latest self-titled album, and you can see he's got his lyrics in here. And we're big believers of putting lyrics on your site. All right, so now I want to kind of break away from this and give you guys a live demo of how easy it is to kind of get into the actual framework. And I'm going to do that by navigating to my own website here. I'll actually go to the home page. You can see this is the Promenade theme. And unlike Pat McGee, I've only got 2 records, but I want to show you guys just how easy it is for me to go in here and add a new song to either of these records. You can see this one here is my original album, and then this is just a bunch of covers that I kind of will peddle out there for, you know, if I'm trying to book a gig somewhere. So if we go into One More Cup of Coffee, which is the original album, you can see right now I've only got 12 tracks in here. And what I'm going to do is I've got this little demo track here that I think it's about 10 seconds long, so it's not going to take long to upload. So if you know WordPress, this is going to look kind of familiar to you. This is the dashboard here, and you can see the AudioTheme stuff going on the sidebar here. And I'm actually already in the discography panel. You can see my 2 records, and I'm going to go ahead and add this track, this 13th track to One More Cup of Coffee. And I'm going to do that by going right here. You can see the description here. Below that is the list of all the tracks. There's the 12 of them. They're actually linking to a separate site where they're hosted currently. But I'm going to go through here and I'm just going to call this demo track for AudioTheme. And then I'm the artist, obviously. And instead of pasting in the URL like I would, I'm going to go and upload a new file. And I'm going to pull this demo in from my desktop. And it's going to go pretty quick. Like I said, I think it's only about 10 seconds long. It should go pretty quick. There it goes. So we select it. You can see because I tagged it with the ID3 stuff, it's going to pull in all that information. I add it there and I update. All right, now we're seeing it on the track list within AudioTheme. So I'm going to go back to the actual website and just do a quick refresh. And there it is. And if I hit play, you can see it load up. And it's 9 seconds long. So that's how easy it is to add a new song. And if I wanted to, I could go right in there and edit it or delete it or kind of play around with it a little bit. If you wanted to add your lyrics, you would go in here and add them just like this. You can allow people to download your music if you want to. That's something that I'm kind of doing just because at this point, I feel like I'd rather have more people hear my music than try to sell it to them. But if you've got your purchase URL, if you're a little bit of a bigger deal than I am, you can go ahead and paste that in here. And that's something that's doable on a track level or a record level. So if you wanted them to purchase the whole record or individual tracks, that's possible as well. All right, so back to our slideshow here. How is it that you can protect your music? The bad news is that, unfortunately, if someone could hear it, they could probably steal it. And the reason for that is that it has to live somewhere, and by that, it can be gotten from that somewhere. So a few of the ways you can protect yourself are I just kind of briefly mentioned it, tagging files with ID3 editors. And that's not really going to prevent anyone from grabbing your file, but it will kind of just be a gentle reminder that it belongs to you and you are the owner of it. So if it floats around in the world, at least someone will notice that it's yours. Another route is trying to use a secure file hosting site somewhere in the cloud. You know, if you've got a Dropbox or a Google Drive or a Amazon cloud server, some of those options, they actually allow secure URLs. So that's an option. You saw when I just ran that demo a second ago that all you would do at that point would be to take that URL and paste it in the URL path there. Probably the most popular and most effective one is to just post a lower quality version of the song, something that's still high enough quality to where someone can really get a feel for how the song sounds, and if they dig it, they're interested in spending the 99 cents or whatever it may be to buy the high quality version. Or you can do the 30-second to 1-minute clip of each song, which is kind of the iTunes route. It's how they'll preview the music, which is pretty effective. But personally, I like to put the whole song out there, so I'm thinking the lower quality version is probably the best route, at least for me. All right. That was short and sweet, but all we had for you guys tonight. So if you've got questions, go ahead and shoot them to us. Like I said, we got Brady, we got Brody, and I am on the chat line as well. So feel free to shoot us any questions. The webinar is recording, so we'll be sure to get it out to you, as well as all of the links we promised for those free plugins and some other just research items in terms of really drilling down on how to use like a Reverb Nation embed or a SoundCloud embed. If anything does come to mind after we sign off, you can jot down my email address here, and I will pass it along to whoever it needs to get to. I'd love your feedback. I'd love questions. I would love any sort of other ideas you might have for future topics if it was something that you guys enjoyed. Or if you would like anything in a little more detail, just let us know. Oh, gonna go ahead and post, here's an article that kind of has a little more in-depth explanations of everything. Oh, thanks guys for the kind words. Thanks guys. So if you didn't register ahead of time, let me just kind of close out on this. And you didn't submit your email address, and we're not going to be able to send you the recording. So what you'll want to do is send me an email, anna@audiotheme.com, or if you wanted to actually go ahead and I guess register post webinar, that'll still put you on the list so that we know who needs the links, who needs the recording, and all that cool stuff. And then that'll keep you in the loop in terms of what's coming up in the future. All right, I'm gonna hang out for a few minutes. If you got questions, just let us know. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast here. But like I said, I hope you've got my email address by this point. If not, you can find us all across the web and look for that email. And thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Have a great one.